So another year is coming to an end. So many amazing new modules got released this year. It was really nice to see new developers join the community and existing developers working on new stuff with so much passion. I really want to just highlight a few of the modules. Of course, I cannot show all of them, so I already apologize if you're a developer and you released new modules this year, or you're a user and really wished I could showcase the modules you really like and I don't show them here. I'm sorry, but feel free to mention them in the comments for people to discover, and also if there are any modules you think I should explore in future videos. And by the way, in this video I will show mostly modules that are available for free, and at the end of the video I will show also a few commercial modules that were released this year. And I will start with the VCOs, the oscillator that were released this year. One of the highlights was the XM operator from Venom. It's a synth voice with a built-in envelope, and it has various modulation and feedback modes that are perfect for all sorts of sound design experiments. Here I have one of them sequenced. Right, I can change the waveform. Right, let's go with triangle for example. Can modulate the envelope. Also add movement with feedback modulation. Right, in this case we have FM. If I right click it, you can see we have different modes of feedback. For example, feedback ring modulation. Right, or feedback phase modulation. Right, and I can modulate this. Right, and the idea here, of course, is to have multiple instances with modulation. So here I have two more, and one is modulating the other, right, through the XM or X mod input. Right, and also here we have different modes. Right, we have frequency modulation. Right, we have phase modulation, amplitude modulation. Right, let's go with phase here. Right, also here, of course, we have feedback. I can change the ratios between them. We have multiplication and division. Right, and this works great also for drones. Right, here I have three of them and I turned off their envelope so they are all droning. There's lots of modulation, for example, also for the detune. Right, there's also feedback modulation here. Right, you can really create all sorts of sounds here. So this is how it sounds together. Right, so it's a really great oscillator to experiment with. There is also a new oscillator from CV Funk. It's called Aloy. This is a carpless strong synth voice. It also has lots of interesting ways of changing the sound. Right, here it's being sequenced and it has some delay. Right, so you can also sequence it with pitch. You can change the shape, make it more noisy or less noisy. Change the resonance, which will be decay. Add some overdrive. Change the impulse from something very snappy to something a bit more sustained. It's also great for processing external sounds. Here I just have a drum loop going to the input of Aloy. Right, and then I can process it. We also got a few hardware modules, so for example Castor and Pollux, which is great for drones. We got Pizza, which is great for more harsher sounds. And we got Sina from Vostok, where you can combine 4 waves also with different types of noise. And there are a few oscillators I didn't really have time to explore, and I hope to explore in the near future. So for example, there is Stargazer from Moffenzif, which is a full synth voice that should be quite interesting. There is Mum Jeans, which is a pulsar synthesis oscillator, and the direct spectral synthesis VCO from Greg's Brain that I really hope to explore in the near future. So really already you can see that we got some great new oscillators this year, and there's so much to explore. There are so many sequencers released this year, more than 50. That's at least 4 sequencers a month, which is crazy. Also here I have a few highlights that I really enjoyed. For example, there is the Picus sequencer from CV Funk. It has 2 sequences and multiplication and division per step. So here, for example, I have a bass voice. I can set ratcheting per step. So let's say here multiplication of 2, here multiplication of 4. Right, I can also set different ratios, more weird ratios, let's say, for example, 5/3. Right, and then the secondary sequence will run according to this, right? It will advance its steps according to the divisions and multiplications. I can set the length, let's go with, let's say, 7 steps here. Right, and activate notes and also silence, and this will sequence another voice that I have here. So let's do something like this, let's say. Right, maybe another one. And then silence. Right, so you can get interesting sequences like this. There's another sequencer from CV Funk called Cartesia. This is a Cartesian sequencer. So I can choose, for example, to run just the x-axis, and with the clock division, the y, and with another clock division, the z. Right, so we have multiple sequences to work with. This will run, by the way, also with CV, so with a phasor signal. It also has polyphony and a lot more to explore. Another highlight for me is the random loops modules from Sequozel. There are different variations, but this one here I use the most. It's basically 8 Turing machines in one module. Perfect for sequencing and modulation. So for example, I can sequence pitch. Of course, I have here the XM operator from Venom. This has also scale control, scale and offset, which is perfect for sequencing pitch. Then I can use the triggers. Right, and then just like with the Turing machine, also here we can lock the sequence. Maybe a nicer sequence. Right? So now we have something more repetitive. Then I can use the other channels for modulation, for example, filter modulation. Right, and also here lock the sequence. Right, maybe decay modulation. Maybe with a different length, let's go with 10 steps and lock it. Right, feedback. Let's go 7 steps, and then maybe also delay mix. And again, lock it. Right, there's another version that will also save snapshots, this one here. Right, you can lock a sequence, save it, and then go to a different snapshot or program, lock a new sequence, and like this you can switch between different sequences that the random loops created for you. And of course there are also sequencers that I didn't have time to explore and I would love to explore in the near future. For example, there's the step station, also from Sequocel. It's an 8-channel sequencer with lots of interesting features like probability, randomness, different modes. There's also the trigger station that it's the same but for triggers. There are the new arrange sequencers from JW. This will allow you to create arrangements in various ways. There are new sequencers from Morph and Ziff, one more for chords and one more for percussive elements. These ones should also be quite fun. There's a new sequencer from CV Funk that I didn't have time to explore. It's called Strata, and actually it's a sort of an advanced version of Picus, so it should also be fun to explore. Next up we have effects and filters, some modules that process signals. Also here we got quite a few new modules. Now I might be biased, but my absolute favorite module is Echo. Echo is a multi-tap delay module I worked on with Sapphire, and I absolutely love it. So by default you get one tap. Right, in this case it's just processing a simple sequence, but I can add more taps, let's say 4 more, so we have 5 all in all. Right, so now we have 5 taps. I can pan each of them separately. Let's say left, right, center, and then a bit left and a bit right. Right, I can change their levels to get a bit more of a dynamic variation. I can choose to reverse a few of them. Each of them even has send and return, so something I like doing is using Nimbus here, which is a Clouds clone for pitch shifting. Right, just to add, maybe I will take this level up. Just to add a bit more variation on top. It also has a freeze function. Right, and it has many more features, so it really is an amazing delay to experiment with. Sapphire did an amazing job with this one. Another highlight is Atlas. This is another module from the Vostok collection, of course available also in hardware, and it's 4 filters that you can scan through. So here I have a simple sequence. I have here low pass, band pass, low pass, high pass, and I can scan through them. Right, and of course also modulate this. Right, another interesting module that was released this year is the wave multiplier from Venom. This will take a signal, create copies of it, and will process the copies, mixing everything back together. So here I have just a sine wave. Right, I can start adding the effect. This is now with just one copy, but I can bring in the rest. Change the internal modulation speed, either globally or per channel. Right, we can even use different copies, for example, to modulate the feedback, in this case again of the XM operator. So we have pulse waves and we have the shifted wave. So let's take, for example, one shifted wave. Right, and this adds even more edge to the sound. And also here there are a few modules I didn't really get to explore this year. There's a new filter from Venom, the multi-mode filter. Also here we can morph between filter types, so this should also be quite interesting. There are new modules from 4MS, for example the specializer, which is a mid-side processor with send and return. There are different filters. There's even a new bit crusher. And there's the CV Funk Tatami, which is a wave folder. And I did use it a couple of times, but I definitely want to dig deeper into it and see what sounds it can produce. Next up, we have drum modules. There were quite a few released this year. I used the new XOX collection from 4MS quite a bit. These are several modules that were originally released to use in their Meta hardware module, but of course they are also available to use in VCV without the Meta module. So for example, we have here a kick drum, right, with all sorts of different parameters we can control, like pitch, saturation, and this goes also to crazy, right? Of course, amp decay, pitch decay. Right, then we have toms that I use here for bass. Right, you can choose low toms, mid or high. Also here we can change different parameters. Then we have clap, snare, and hi-hats. Right, also with different parameters. For the snare, we also have saturation that goes to 11. Right, and the hi-hats are also quite interesting. It's one module for closed hi-hat and open hi-hat, and you can choose to choke the open with the closed one. Right, so it's also quite interesting. And then we have more percussion sounds like conga bongo, cowbell, rimshot, clave, and maracas. Opalach. Right, also with all sorts of parameters here. A bit more minimal, but still quite interesting. So altogether you can build really interesting drum setups. I also use the new Nano drum module quite a lot. In this case, we have 4 sounds with various controls. So for example, we have a kick. Also here we drive. Right, tone, tune, decay. Right, then we have snare. Can make it more snappy. Closed hi-hats. And open hi-hat. Right, and in this case we have also a global compressor. Can be quite fun. And an EQ, so sort of DJ style EQ, left low pass, right high pass. Right, so it can also be quite interesting. And I would definitely want to explore the Moffenziff percussion modules more. Right, they are more esoteric, I guess, but still can be interesting for glitchy percussion. So here, for example, there's the Bobcat. Right, or the GMO. Different samples, I guess. Definitely nice for glitch. This one, Mongrel. Or the Muskrat. Different algorithms. Yeah, so I definitely want to explore these more. So now let's look at some of the utility modules that were released this year. As you can see, there were quite a lot. And by utility, I mean mixers, modulation like LFOs, slew limiters, switches, envelopes, and so on. So one highlight for me that I used quite a lot are the new modulators from VCO. There's the Rand Mod 7 and the R Mod 7, so a smaller version of it. You get basically 7 smooth random signals, each with its own rate control, and on the bigger version you have even range control, so minimum and maximum. I often use the R Mod 7. Right, it can add so much movement. It has even another feature, the magnet point. On the R Mod 7 it's in the right click menu, but here on the bigger module it's here. You can see it has low or lower, middle and upper, so you can choose where the base point or where the middle point of the modulation will be, more in the lower values, more in the middle, or more in the upper values with dedicated strength. Right, so you can have different smooth random modulation sources with different ranges, different rates, and again add lots and lots of movement to your patches. Another module I really enjoyed is the Pen 3D from Venom. It's a cross-fading switch, so you have one input and then you have 8 outputs. You can switch between them with the sequencer or cross-fade between them. Right here, for example, if I go just to the x-axis, I can pen this left and right. Right, and I have the other outputs processed differently, so if I cross-fade to them, right, some with delay, some with pitch shifting. Right, and of course I can morph now between them. And for this I will use another new module from Venom, the Sphere to XYZ. This will convert incoming modulation to Cartesian coordinates. And I will use another new module that I really liked using this year, Wonk from CV Funk. This is a wonky modulation source, and CV Funk anyway is on fire this year with so many new and exciting modules. But again, Wonk is a wonky modulation source, so I can use, for example, 1, 2, and 3 here, or 1, 3, and 5, right, and then convert them to X, Y, and Z, and then morph between the outputs. Right, so it's great for sound design. Another really exciting release was the new Twin Paradox module from the Geodesics. Now, if you know me and follow my channel, you know that I'm a big fan of this collection from the very beginning. I love the ideas behind the modules, what they are inspired after, and I'm always happy to see new releases from this collection. And this year we got a unique clock source where one clock stays stable and the other experiences time dilation, which is already cool. So here I have each clock output driving a sequencer with its own voice. Right, in this case I can send the blue clock to on a trip to space and get time dilation, basically having it run at a different speed. Right, and I can change this speed by changing the ratio. So for example, a ratio of 7/4 will give us a different rhythm, or 8/5. I can add probability to which clock will get this effect, the blue one or the yellow one. And even probability if this will happen on its own. Right, so we can get quite interesting rhythmic effects. You can see why I find this module so exciting. And of course there are more modules that I would really like to explore, and also some that I also use quite often. So something I would like to explore is the ADASR envelope and slew limiter from Venom. Both of them have quite interesting features you don't see often on modules in the same direction. I would also like to explore path and trace more modules from Vostok, in this case in collaboration with DivKid. These are cross-fading switches that you can use to morph between signals. Of course, they're also available in hardware. There's the JP Octavator. This one will add pitch variation to your sequences. It's great for adding movement to repetitive sounds. There is Zoo from Sapphire that has all the different chaos modes and even more from different modules that Sapphire has already. This is quite interesting to use in all sorts of context for creating pitch, for creating modulation, interesting modulation sources. And there's the AD envelope from Sikocell that I use quite a lot. It has a built-in VCA with the expander. It can even be stereo. It can loop, and it's quite small, which is great for bigger chains or patches. As I promised in the beginning, I would like to mention some commercial modules that were released this year. I have a video on all of them, so make sure to check out the links in the description if you're interested. For example, there's the new CV Funk CZG. This is a full synth voice with 2 oscillators. Here I'm using modulation from Super Wonk, which is also from the same commercial collection. There are the new wavetable modules from Synthesis Technology. Here, for example, I'm using the Cloud Terrarium, also with some modulation. We got 2 new commercial oscillators from Venom. This is, for example, Spice Factory, which is a wave splicing voice with 3 oscillators, where one oscillator will switch between 2 other oscillators at audio rates. And we have new commercial sequencers from JP. This one is called Endless. It can be as generative or as repetitive as you like. Right, so here we have a sequence. I can add probability to note changes. I can add probability to play the sequence backwards. Probability to change the rhythm. And I can always go back to the original sequence, and I can even freeze it if I don't want any changes. Right, and then go back to more generative sequences with variation. So this will always change. I will add some delay to this. Add a nice bass. So I would really like to thank the developers for an amazing year, for being so creative, sharing their work with us. I hope and wish that the next year will be at least as fun. Thank you for watching. Cheers.